Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Everything Medicare Podcast. First and foremost, I apologize to the every week listeners who were expecting a podcast last Sunday and didn't get it. My sincerest apologies. This time of the year, folks, we are at Christian Brindle Insurance Services a full-on Medicare specialized insurance brokerage agency. So we have a very difficult time this time of the year bringing you extra projects like a podcast, but I'm going to do my best from this point till the end of the enrollment period to be bringing you one every single Sunday, and then after the enrollment period, we will go back to Mondays. My podcast this week, and the episode that I wanted to bring you, is the early thoughts I have so far this enrollment period. Today is October the 14th, a Sunday, one day before the day that people can officially change, and I wanted to give you my early thoughts. First and foremost, I have seen a lot of brokers who have been mailing people things thinking that they're clients of theirs when they haven't been clients of theirs for years. You have to be careful during this enrollment period on what you get in the mail, because it can be confusing. Advertisements, things that might sound better than what you currently have, but it really isn't, because an advertisement, folks, let's call it what it is going to do nothing but, and I mean nothing, but try to sell you on their product. But they're not going to tell you any of the negatives or the detractors of their product, and every single product has one in the Medicare world. They all have positives and they all have negatives. They all have advantages and they all have detractions. So keep that in mind when you're seeing a commercial. The advertising is going crazy, just like every year. The commercials are going out of their minds, and you just have to be careful to get all of the information about a product before you sign up for it. Make sure you hear the good and the bad, and if it still is an upgrade to what you have, then it's a good idea to make a change. I'm bringing you a shorter podcast than normal this week just because this time of the year is so crazy for us. It's been absolutely insane. Me personally, I've been putting in about 85 hours a week the first 2 weeks, because we had the first week of October and then we had this past week. So as we come and enter this enrollment period, I just wanted to bring you this reminder to make sure that you're getting all the details and all the facts and asking the right questions about a product or service before you just replace what you have. Because believe it or not, I'll give you an example. Let's say you have a Medicare supplement and you replace it with a Medicare Advantage plan. If you walk away from your Medicare supplement, guess what? To get it back, Medicare supplements require health questions and underwriting to be passed by you. So if you do have health problems and you walk away from it thinking it's better, when it's not, there's a chance you might not be able to get your Medicare supplement back. As always, folks, I really appreciate you listening, and I appreciate your loyalty, and I appreciate you folks and everything that you do. As always, this time of the year, I want to remind you that if you are in Utah, Florida, or Idaho, my company, Christian Brindle Insurance Services, is there to work with you on your Medicare plan if you want to compare what you have and make sure it's the best thing for 2019. So if you live in Utah, where we are located, if you live in Idaho, which we have a presence and are licensed in, if you live in Florida, which we also have a presence and are licensed in, and you'd like to have your plan compared, call our office at 801-572-3808, 801-572-3808, and we can compare your program. No problem. And one thing that separates us from the competition is we will tell you if what you have is the best thing. The last thing we want to do is change something for when we already have the best thing. Now, I wanted to bring you one piece of news this enrollment period. It is that WellCare and Aetna have entered into a agreement to which Aetna is going to be selling all of their individual prescription drug plans to WellCare in 2019. So if you have an Aetna prescription plan or you're planning on purchasing one, just know that is going to be changing over to WellCare, whether you like it or not, in just a couple of years if this goes through. It could always be blocked by the government, like the Aetna and Humana merger did a couple years back. But it looks like it's going to happen. So just keep that in mind. Some people might not want to work with WellCare, and they had it in mind they were going to work with Aetna. So just keep that in mind. Know that we just found out a couple of days ago that the Medicare Part B premium is going to be raising by $1.50 a month. So instead of $134, it's going to be $135.50. And the Medicare Part B deductible is going up $2. So it's going from $183 to $185. As always, folks, if you want to know what's in my head when it comes to Medicare programs, I've made that available to you in the form of my book, Medicare Guidance, Picking the Plan for You. It's on sale all year long. I have it discounted tremendously by what we should be charging for it at $5.50 on Amazon. So if you go on Amazon and you want to know more and you want to be able to make the right decision and you don't want to be taken advantage of, that book is a short read. There's no fluff. It's 50 some odd pages. It's an easy read. Most people can get through it in a day, if not just a few hours. And there's a chapter on everything you need to know about Medicare. Medicare supplements, Medicare drug plans, Medicare Advantage plans, original Medicare, the origin of Medicare. It's worth every penny. For the price that we're charging, I'm practically giving it away. Head over to Amazon, type in Christian Brindle or Medicare Guidance, one of the two. It's a red book with a Medicare card on the front, and I recommend it to anybody that wants to make a correct, informed decision this enrollment period. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate it, and I will see you next week. And we're planning on bringing you a normal podcast that's at the typical length of about 20 minutes. Thank you for your patience, and have a fantastic week.